Oh boy, another exciting episode of Mr Nailsin Sunday Comics. Almost didn't do it. Oh boy, I was that exhausted. But I took a shower and thought, well, all right, could probably do it. I was just gonna do a taped version of it, but there just wasn't time during the week to do it. Yeah, so. Saint Ranger says, howdy, Doug. Well, howdy, Saint Ranger. So, for today's show, the comic book will be The Hand of Fate. And look, there you can see it on the cover. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Simply titled The Hand of Fate by Ace. So, what it says, Marion, nothing shall happen to you. But, John, the time has come for you to meet your fate. And she's like, oh, no. And then it turns out he won the Powerball or something, you know. Oh, okay, cool. He's looking a little jaundice here. It's pretty veiny hand, you know. That is a hand, right? Well, anyway, excuse me. We'll get right to it. So this be a horror-themed anthology comic book. And, well, let's hope I can get all the way through it. So, The Revolt of the Heads. Huh. Well, all right, here we are in some jungle. I could swear I heard something in the brush. It could be my nerves. The jungle is full of strange sounds. Why in heaven's name did I ever wander away from my party? The lure of the primitive had sent Brian Laska. What a weird way to say. Okay. Brian Laska into the trackless jungles of North Borneo. As a famous anthropologist. Oh, God. He knew that there was a world beyond the real and tangible, filled with the mystery of terrifying visions and strange, savage paths. It was this world he wished to discover and study. As his party left Kumlaho, the hand of fate intervened, and Brian suddenly found himself separated and lost in a wild, dangerous jungle filled with hostile tribes. Whoops! Suddenly, savage screams rent the air. Kadumba, seize him! Tie him up, but do not kill! Let go of me, Wasala! Let me speak! Wait! Hey, he speaks our language. English? He will make a good sacrifice. I will show the tribe that Ula is a great witch doctor. Just the primitive I wanted to meet. But now it's too late. Oh, boy. Let me check real quick here. Yeah, just what I was looking for, Thompson. Audio good. Okay, so we can continue on. Because I just remember. Now, I'm using Rumble Studio. Usually I don't have any problems, but you never know. Okay. An hour later in the tribal village. Who's speaking? Okay, this guy. Look, I have captured a white man. I will make great magic. No more will the Swahili fear their enemies. Ula has spoken. If you take my head, you will lose all your powers as a witch doctor. I warn you. You who speak our tongue, listen. The Swahili are not head hunters. We are the enemies of the head hunters. We are fire worshippers. So, there you go. That's fire. Guess he's going to pray to it. I don't know. But I come as a friend to learn your powers. I am also an enemy of headhunters. I do not trust you. The headhunters have taken many captives. The tribe blames my weak magic, but I will show them that when you sacrifice, that Ula is mighty. Behold, mighty flame god, Ula calls. Incredible! Primal hypnotism in a primitive tribe. He does not feel the flame. Or is it an illusion? Well, what do you think? Your magic is strong, Ula. Now I must see what our enemy is doing. With these ornaments of one of our captured tribesmen, I will call upon his spirit, which is imprisoned in his shrunken head. And I thought you guys didn't collect heads, but, well, maybe got a few souvenirs while touring the enemy camp. Anyway, great flame god, I will call upon the spirit of our captured brother Nasim Sharmal Mambawatiri. Come. Can this mumbo jumbo really produce anything? But I thought you spoke the tongue. Anyway. You have called me, Ula, from the village of the headhunters. My spirit wanders. What is your wish? Great heavens, an apparition! I might need to wipe. Oh, tell me, Nasim, my brother, is our tribe in danger? Great danger, Ula. Even now the headhunters approach our village to attack. They are mad for heads. Now, I must go. Prior engagement and whatnot. I must warn our warriors. What do you want? I prefer onion rings over fries. So if you could have that alongside my cheeseburger, and I would like to be untied. So free me. I have powerful magic which will help your tribe, Ula. I will fight on your side. So a few minutes later, our enemy comes. The fire god will strengthen your arms, close your ears to their magic. Ready with your spears, Swagili. So I guess somewhere in between the two panels, he convinced Ula to let him have it. And here's his magic, a revolver. So, yeah. Kill, let no one escape. They're falling back, and you're after them. No, Nambu, my son, do not answer their cursed call. Stay here. He's in a trance. His mind seems paralyzed. I must break this spell, or he'll wind up on a head pole. I am released. Help me, Ula. I am weak. And he's released because he shot this dude in the neck. Yeah! Look at him collapse and die. Oh, this is great fun. You are indeed a great friend. You have saved my son's life by destroying their magic. Ask for anything, and you shall have it. Well, there are two things, Ula. First, I would like to learn your magic. And then I wish my freedom, A few days later, you have already mastered much, my friend. But this is the supreme test. Strip naked. What you will see will terrify and hurt you. Perhaps kill you. Will you take that chance? I have gone this far already. I'm sitting here butt naked with my junk right next to the flame, so I will not stop now. Go ahead, Ula. No. Take away these horrible visions. I can't stand it. Enough. Depart, you spirits of evil. Where are they? I thought I was going mad with pain, but now it's all gone. You have come through the test, my friend. Your powers are even greater than Ula's. Go test yourself and clean up because, you pooped your shorts. There is the fire. Why, it doesn't hurt at all. In fact, my body is cold because I'm nude. Ula, this is a great power I do not understand. It is granted to a few, and you are one of those. Now you must leave the Swahili. Wait a minute, you don't understand? Holy crap, get out of the fire before it burns you. A few days later, Brian staggered into Cumlaho, the British outpost. Brian Lasker, I can't believe you're alive. What happened to you? I've been living with a Swahili witch doctor. What I saw will amaze the world. Later that evening, his power was beyond belief. He was a complete master of the world of the spiritual. Rot. You think I'll believe that? These natives are ignorant beggars. You must have been unconscious or drunk, Lasker. If you'll lecture about this in London, they'll laugh you off the stage. Well, anyway, back in London at the first museum lecture. You may laugh, but I'll tell you, these primitives possess great, inexplicable powers. The jungle must have driven you balmy. Later, alone with his brother Gerald. I wish you'd stop making a fool of yourself, Brian. You really don't believe this stuff. I do, Gerald, and I advise you to learn something about these primitive tribes before you go to Borneo. It's your first overseas assignment. I won't swallow this voodoo. I say all you need is a big stick to keep those natives in line. They're just one step above animals. Really? Then how do you explain this? I learned the secret from one of those natives. You think so ignorant? Look. Jeez. Well, again, souvenirs, Chagrin, Dave Yada, listen, you imprisoned spirits. Why, blast it, their eyes opened and they're smiling. It's some trick, an hallucination I'm seeing. Gerald left unconvinced. A few weeks later in Cumlaho. I hope you're not like that anthropologist brother of yours. He told the wildest story when he got back from the jungle. No, I think he's mad. Now take me to the chieftain of this tribe, Colonel Gamblin. I want to impress him with my new administration. Brankar, I warn you, if this headhunting and curing doesn't stop, I'll send you to jail. I expect you to carry out my orders. You cannot tell us to change customs of hundreds of years. This is our religion, our magic. You insolent beggar! Take that for talking back to me. Aye, beware, Bankar makes strong magic tonight. You will pay for that. Are those little skulls on this? No, I guess they're just, okay. Well, anyway, that night, Gerald was drawn from his bed by an irresistible force. Halt! Where do you think you're going? No one leaves the post at this hour. I must. Out of my way. Something out there is calling me. Nothing can stop me. I am answering a call from the jungle. It's in my blood, drawing me with waves of force. Let go of me, you fool! A frantic search was made for Gerald. Colonel, we've beaten up and down the jungle for 5 miles. There's no sign of Lasker, sir. I told him not to meddle with Bankar. When Brian received word from Borneo, Gerald's disappeared into the jungle. I must leave at once for Borneo. I hope I shall not be too late. Days later, Brian arrived in Cumlaho. Look here, Lasker. We need Bankar to keep the natives in line. Don't antagonize him. I can't promise anything. If he's responsible for Gerald's death, I want justice done. Well, let's see here. Oh, what do you want here, kind of Your men have searched here already. Good Lord, I'm too late, but there is still something I can do. Is that one of his brother's head stuck on? Dummy. You can't do this, Alaska. You're a fool for meddling with these natives. I said get out. I want to be alone here for a few minutes. Huh? Oh, jeez. Oh. Uh-oh. When Brian was alone, Shagar, Dave Yatum, spirits of the departed, I command you to do my bidding. Listen. A few minutes later, dog, before morning you shall die. Your bones shall not be found. Bankar has spoken. Let's get away from here. You stirred up that devil Bankar. There's no telling what he'll do now. Do me one last favor, Colonel. I want to be tied firmly to my bed tonight and have a guard posted outside my door. What the hell? Look, what you do on your own time behind closed doors is your business, but... No, I got a plan. Well, all right, you're mad, Lasker, but, well, I'll do as you say. I'm beginning to believe there's more in this voodoo witchcraft than I thought. Why? You haven't seen anything. Oh, well, that night, an unseen power tugged at Brian's body. I must get free. Let me out. The call. I must answer the call. In Brancar's hut, an unbelievably savage battle raged. Help, these heads are beating me to death. I have no power against this magic. When morning came, Leska, do you hear that? Do you hear what they say? Some strange power beat Banker to death. They are terrified. They promised to give up headhunting. Tell me, what did you do in Banco's hut yesterday? I spoke to the heads. One of them was Gerald's. He led them against Bankar last night. Well, yes, you were tied down last night and a guard was stationed. You could not get away. There must be something terribly real about this weird magic. But how did it happen? Believe me, Colonel, I don't know. I possess a strange, savage power, but I'll never understand it. I only used it to avenge Gerald's death. Then how did you use it? I guess we'll never know because that's the end. So, all right, you can worship fire, but don't hunt the heads. Of course, you're not supposed to play with fire, so I'll have to do something about that too, but don't try this at home. It won't go well. It won't. Okay, I guess this is one of those short ones. A hand of fate. Mystery. Many times, strong love and jealousy come together to create a hateful mixture. Ralph Green and his recent bride were honeymooning at a coastal town in England. The couple were enjoying a shopping tour through the small village one day. In a small curio shop, they found an old clock. I'd love to have that beautiful clock for our new home. It's yours, darling. Does it run, shopkeeper? It shall run as long as the love between you lasts. If one of you should lose the love for the other, it will stop. That is the legend of this timepiece. Yes. The clock was purchased and placed in the couple's house. All went well for several months, until one day. Oh, Frank, I called to tell you that Ralph has gone to London for a few days. You can come here tomorrow at noon. She's calling another man. Lucky my car broke down so I could return to hear this. That night, Ralph, filled with hate and anger, Ralph Green planned an evil revenge. I'll plant a powerful blast of dynamite in this clock. And when it strikes 12, they'll both be blown to kingdom come. The next day, the stranger appeared at the house. One more minute, and they'll be dead. What? The clock has stopped at 1 minute to 12. The dynamite charge won't work. Ralph stormed into the room. You thought I was in London and you had to call someone else to take my place, eh? Ralph, what are you doing here? This is my brother Frank. He is just paying me a visit. I won't stand for your spying on me like this. I'm leaving you. Boy, that was quick, huh? Ralph watched in anguish as his wife and her brother stormed out of the room. He turned as he heard the old clock ticking again. Oh, damn it, the clock! It's going to... Ah! He survived, but he no longer had an ass. The clock stopped when Ralph's suspicious mind caused him to stop loving his wife. But when he realized his error, his love returned. The clock started ticking again and set off the dynamite. He died a horrible death at his own hand. The legend of the old clock had come true. The end. Yeah. So in the end, his own love for her killed him. I mean, one embarrassing little spat and she leaves him immediately. I mean, beginning to think he was the only one in love here, Oh, well. Canyon of the Living Dead. Well, we'll have to check that out. But, okay. And, okay. Here we go. Canyon of the Living Dead. The high altitude must be getting... Oh, wait, it's the character. The high altitude must be getting me. I feel dizzy. The clouds and the mountains look monstrous, menacing. 3 giant intercontinental airliners don't just completely vanish into thin air without a trace of wreckage, even in the perilous airplanes over the wild, unexplored heights of the mysterious Andes Mountains. Kurt Thompson, ace troubleshooter for Intercontinental, set out in his tiny cabin plane to prove that, and found himself tail-spinning into the terror-ridden realms of worlds beyond human belief or knowledge. Nearing the section of the mountains where his company's airliners disappeared, Kurt Thompson's plane bucked the vicious winds of a raging blizzard. I should be able to ride out this storm, yet the ship seems to be completely out of control, especially the left wing. What the... a man walking on the wing. But it can't be. Not at 12,000 feet in a roaring blizzard. Almost looks like $6 Million Man. Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na-na. I can see him more clearly. It's my brother Andy. But he was the pilot of one of the lost planes. How could... Kurt, listen to me. He's trying to tell me something, but I can't hear him over the din of the motors in the storm, or maybe because he isn't really there at all, and I'm just seeing things. His senses swirling, his stomach knotted with terror, Kurt Thompson tried to tell himself that this was all impossible, the product of his air-sick imagination. But then sharply, clearly, through his earphones came a hollow, echoing voice. Kurt, this is Andy. Believe me. Bail out immediately. You're in grave danger. Bail out, Kurt. Hurry. As Kurt froze with panic, unable to carry out the ghostly instructions, he felt his tiny craft buck and twist into a steep dive. At the same instant, Kurt blacked out into merciful oblivion. A few minutes later, Kurt snapped to and found himself... What happened? How did I get clear of the ship? I remember going into a dive. blacking out, but the high altitude must have gotten me. Thinking I saw Andy standing on the wing, even heard his voice. Wait a minute. I've got Andy's ID bracelet, the one he wore on that fatal flight. Looks like I'm going to make a soft landing. Funny, though. I've flown over this section hundreds of times and never noticed this grass-covered canyon. It's thick, soft grass. Surely enough, but it feels awfully spongy and unsafe. A few moments after Kurt had discarded his chute, I'm falling. No wonder the footing felt so unsafe. Nothing but sods spread over a netting of vines. I've landed in some kind of small village, completely hidden from the air. Wonder why they'd want to block out all the sunlight like that. And what's that strong scent? Like incense. For a moment, Kurt Thompson felt dizzy and ill. Then, abruptly, his senses cleared, and he saw a girl. At least it's not a ghost town. Man from the sky, come to Princess Juanita. Hurry, enter. If the conquerors find you on the street, you will be in great danger. From the top of the tower, you can look out over the whole canyon, and I'll tell you what you have blundered into and what you must do to escape. That's strange. She doesn't throw any shadow. But man, what an ass. Look out, that torch is falling on you. Do not be alarmed. I am not hurt. You will understand why when I tell you my story. Okay. Awed by this strange, beautiful creature, Kurt followed apprehensively to the temple tower. I could see the whole village from here. This is not a village. It is the canyon of the living dead. Look, over there is the wreckage of the metal skybirds. A short distance away, 4 mounds of tangled metal told Kurt what had happened to his own plane and the 3 missing airliners. And working over one of the wrecks was a strange group of men in ancient Spanish armor of the 6th century. Who are those men? They are part of the Spanish army that conquered our mountain people to loot our temple of gold and precious stones. Their main army was finally driven back to the sea, all except this handful of soldiers. Oops, I missed my lips with my lipstick. They were trapped by a rock slide in this canyon where they were hiding, holding me as hostage. Without food or water, we all should have died from the heat of the glaring sun within a few days. But then a miracle occurred. I dreamed that if a certain rock was split open, sweet-scented, life-giving gases would issue forth, which would save us until rescue came. When I told the soldiers, they found that rock, split it open, and the dream came true. But it turned into a nightmare. 400 years of an endless half-life, half-death. The hand of fate has brought you to me. I am so tired. You must release me from this living death trap, Kurt. Your brother Andrew said that you would. Andy? You saw him alive? Spoke with him? Yes, Kurt. Before I died from the crash injuries, I heard Juanita's story and promised her that you would come and help her. That shadow! My brother's voice! Andy! What are you talking about? I see no shadow, hear no voice. It was here, but when I started toward it, it disappeared. But I'm convinced now that in some unknown way, Andy is bringing all this about. Andrew lived for 3 days after his plane crashed here. I nursed him, and we grew very fond of each other before he died. He begged me to join him as soon as I could, which is another reason I must have the blessed relief of true death. I'll help you if I can. So she wants you to kill her. Juanita found a helmet and an old suit of armor for Kurt, then led him from the temple. The conquerors will think you are one of them and won't bother you. First, in order to help me, you must escape from this canyon. There is one possible way. I wonder what these guys look like. 400 years in a state of suspended animation. Ooh! A few steps farther on, torch glow fully revealed to Kurt's horrified gaze one of the ghastly spectre-like faces lurking beneath the helmet. That one really looked like walking death. I'd never seen such a hideous face. How is it you haven't been affected like that, Juanita? Perhaps because I was not guilty of the brutal marauding these conquerors engaged in while overrunning my country. There is the rock from which came the life mist. After a few years, the issue almost ceased completely. That is why the whole canyon had to be covered to keep the mist from rising and evaporating. Huh. Well, how about that? The conquerors do not desire complete death as I do. They know there is terrible punishment in store for them because of their crimes. Where does this stream lead to? No one knows. Perhaps into the bowels of the mountain, perhaps to the valley outside and freedom. If so, it is the only escape from the canyon. Don't be afraid, Kurt. You'll come out safely. Andy, all right. I'll take the chance. Swiftly then, Kurt stripped off the heavy armor. He paused for an instant on the brink of the viciously swirling water, his heart thundering with panicky fear of the unknown that lay ahead. Then, goodbye, Kurt. If you reach the outside world, you will find a way to free me from the canyon of the living dead. Well, probably allowing the mist to evaporate, then you'll die. Anyway. In a matter of seconds, Kurt was whipped by the strong currents of the underground stream into dark, fearsome subterranean depths. My lungs are bursting already. I was a fool. Shouldn't have done this. It's certain death. Jeez. But at the last possible moment of endurance, Kurt found himself and the river gushing forth into a waterfall that burst out into the clean sunlight and fresh air. These people will be able to help me get to the nearest city. My plane must have landed in that lake. I suppose I must have been knocked out and dreamed. All that really couldn't have happened. Kurt Thompson returned to Intercontinental's home office after a week of traveling. Then, one day, a strange psychic shock seemed to strike him, and he was compelled to take out his dead brother's identification bracelet and examine it. Huh? Suddenly, Kurt saw the trinket glowing with an eerie light, and through it saw... It is I again, Kurt. Listen closely. There's both good and evil imprisoned in that canyon. Juanita is the good. Yeah, she's really good. The conquerors, the soldiers, are the evil. The good must be freed and the evil destroyed by you. Here's how you can do that. And so, a few days later, Kurt Thompson set out on the mission ordered by his dead brother's spirit. I've never heard of such a thing, Thompson, but if you say the Rex recalls by sucking down drafts from the canyon, perhaps blasting and changing the rock formations might do the trick. Good luck. Goodbye, sir. Don't forget to have the helicopter follow me in 2 hours. Several hours later, over the canyon of the living dead, as Kurt's plane went into an uncontrollable dive, This time I'm bailing out under my own power. Now to see once and for all whether or not I'm the victim of a twisted imagination. Broke through the snowstorm, just as before. Now to toss down this grenade, as Andy told me. He said that the explosion and the sudden blast of sunlight and the releasing of the life gases in the canyon would solve everything. Well, we'll see. The conquerors are still here, at least what's left of them, and they're dead for sure now. No sign of Juanita, though. I wonder where... What? A voice calling me from the top of the cliffs. Why, it's Andy and Juanita. Thank you, Kurt. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna go get laid. Oh. Well. But a moment later, the cliff figures vanished, and once again, there was only the blinding sun in Kurt's eyes. Shortly after the helicopter arrived to rescue him. Get in, boy. Your blast must have done the trick. It's smooth flying over the canyon now. Say, what's the matter? You look as though you've seen a ghost. A ghost? I saw two. Never mind. Let's get out of here. The end. Yeah. Well. I don't know. Couldn't they have rolled up sheets or something and stuffed up all that and closed off the mist out of the... Yeah, I don't know. I just... well, like I said, I don't know. A Hand of Fate mystery. This strange incident occurred not too many years ago in a large metropolitan city. Andrew Gordon was a hard-working newspaper editor of the Daily Globe. His burning desire was to get the news in his paper first. Keeping one step ahead of the other newspapers began taking its toll on Gordon's health and sanity. One night, Gordon sat alone in his office. I've got to get a scoop for tomorrow's edition. My reporters forget that getting the stories first sells newspapers. I'd give my soul to be able to get the news 24 hours before it happens. I'm prepared to accept your offer. I can give you the news you desire in advance, but the charge will be to surrender of your soul to me in a year's time. Agreed? Yeah. Sounds like a crackpot, but I'll play along. I accept your offer. The pact with the stranger was sealed. Gordon got his news 24 hours before it occurred. But people weren't prepared to have their future foretold. Stock market will crash. Train wreck predicted Sunday. 100 to die and fire tomorrow. Everything the paper said has come true. This is insane. It must be stopped. We want no more of these evil predictions. After a year of unbelievable news reporting, Gordon was again visited by the figure of doom. What have I done? The people are living in fear and terror, knowing what the next day holds for them. Our deal ends tonight, and I've come to collect my payment according to our bargain. The next day, Gordon was found dead at his desk. He'd died of a heart attack. Look at the news copy on his desk. It gives the whole story of Gordon's career in the past year. Editor Gordon, found dead of heart attack. Full story told of past year's strange predictions. Gordon's last copy was printed just as he had written it. The terror caused by the strange prediction stands as a lesson to those people who would dare make bargains with the devil. The end. Well, come on. How was he supposed to know he was? Well, of course, the deal. Yeah. Okay. Well, plus, if he had taken the hat off, horns. Yeah. Yeah. So, Death Howls by Moonrise looks like a werewolf story. Good Lord, he's huge. And that breath. Ah, ah. They were two people going for a friendly visit, a pleasant weekend in the mountains. But it turned into a howling nightmare that ended in death. Strange and fantastic. Dusk was settling fast over the Adirondack Mountains as Ben and Jenny Burns neared their destination, the cabin of Fulton Duane. From all I've heard about Fulton Duane, I'm rather anxious to meet him. Well, at college, he was always reading up on some obscure subject. Fulton was brilliant, but he studied everything except his courses and finally was busted out of college. How long has he been in this cabin in the mountains? Why, he only built it last year. His brother Artie seems to think he shouldn't stay up here alone. He implied that Fulton was sick. He wants me to persuade him to come away. Why couldn't he do it himself? I don't know. It was a strange fate that brought the young couple to the little town of Otter Lake on the very night of a bright, full moon. Look at those men. They all have guns. What's going on? It looks like they're after somebody. Where's everybody going with guns? After a wolf. Last month, when the moon was full, a wolf killed a woman on the other side of the lake. It disappeared, but now there's a full moon again. We heard the wolf howl last night. So that's it. Well, could you tell us the way to Fulton Duane's cabin? Huh? Oh, yeah, that's out on the lake road about a mile. You'll see the lights. Some say he stays up all night with the lights burning. Odd one he is. But watch yourself. With that wolf on the loose. That's sort of funny, a wolf around here. I thought there weren't any wolves left in the Adirondacks. I'd have to say so, too. But they must know what they're looking for. I don't know. Well, if Fulton Duane is anything like his cabin, he must be a character. And from what the man said, I guess we're not the only ones who think so. There he is in the window. I'm certainly glad to meet you, Jenny. Ben always had an eye for a pretty girl. Thank you. My, this is some cabin you have, and all these animals. How do you feel, Fulton? I saw your brother last week. He seemed quite concerned about your health. I've never felt better. But then, you know, art always making something out of nothing. He seemed to feel that your staying here in the woods all alone wasn't too good for you. He wanted me to persuade you to come back to New York. Why, that's nonsense. I read here, as you can see, and I study and reflect. And these animals, well, a man living all alone must have some company. They give me the creeps. All these books, what subject are you off on now? What's this? Lycanthropy? Through the ages? Lycanthropy? Whatever that is. Fulton, you always did big topics with big titties. I mean titles. This is nothing new for me. I got interested in it abroad, but it's not a new topic. Aren't you scared that wolf someplace is on the loose? That the one that killed the woman? Yes, there was a woman killed last month, but that wolf business sounds like a lot of rot to me. Then, after a short while, beautiful, the moon rising. Jenny, let me show you the lake by moonlight. Ben, you must be tired from driving. How about fixing us a drink? Everything's in the kitchen. We'll only be a moment. I could stand a short one, but watch him, Jenny. He was always a lady killer in college. Really, Ben, if you don't mind, I'd just as soon. Certainly you don't believe that pool story about the wolf. My stuffed animals will keep you company, Ben, old boy. Very comforting, Fulton. Quite a place Fulton has here. Wonder what this lycanthropy is. Fulton has been reading about. Let's see. Lycanthropy is the pathological condition of a man who believes he can become an animal, a werewolf. In order to satisfy his lust to kill, to terrify, he can, or seems to, transform himself into a raging wolf. Well, of all the fool things to study. The sufferer of this condition, it is true, may be the only innocent victim of his own affected imagination. Say, what is this? Sounds dangerous to fool around with. Dwayne is too smart to really believe. Suddenly, a piercing howl brought Ben to his feet. The wolf howling, and Jenny's out there. The store, it's locked. I've got to get to her. Help, Ben, help me. I'm coming, Jenny. Hold on. She'll be killed. Oh, Jenny, if only I'm not too late. It looks like you are, but help. He's gone. Jenny, are you all right? I'll get you back to the cabin. Where's Fulton? Isn't he with you? Oh, Ben, we were by the lake in the moonlight. We started back suddenly. I was alone, and then that horrible creature howled, and... Oh, God, don't tell me he had his way with you. I scratched the wolf's face with my fingernails. They must have gashed deep. That's when you came up. I should never have let you go with a wolf around somewhere. And what happened to Jenny? Where did you go? Didn't you see the wolf? A fine lot of protection you are, Fulton. But I only turned my back for a second. Oh, let's hurry. The wolf may come back. Do you know you locked the door behind you? No, how forgetful of me. I must have left a double catch on. Ben, look, his face. As though... Yes, as though slashed by fingernails. Hey, it's just like in The Enemy Within Star Trek episode, yeah. Those slashes on your face. This reading about werewolves. What's the meaning of this, Fulton? Werewolves? That's just something I've been studying about. Dwayne, you're sick. Seriously ill. I'm as normal as you are. Those scratches, I must have gotten them from branches in the woods. Hello, Sheriff. The wolf? Yes, out at the Dwayne cabin. Ben, what are you doing calling the police? They'll come out here. Certainly. You don't think I'd let this go unreported after that beast attacked Jenny. But the wolf, it will end just as these poor mounted creatures. I must go to him. They'll come with their guns. Fulton, you are ill. Come back. Man, let's get away from here. He's dangerous, can't you see? Something snapped inside him. To see what once was a rational person become like this. But we better go and quickly. Oh, Ben, there at the door, the wolf. Get back, Jenny. Oh, Ben, if only we'd left. Jeez. Jenny, the gun, over the fireplace. Jenny has to do everything. Oh, boy, that points. Oh, Jenny, you hit him. Good girl. I had to. Oh, how awful. I can't see him, but there's a couple of cars, and the men are shooting into the woods. It's a good thing you called the police. They'll sure finish him. We came out as fast as we could. Are you hurt badly? No. Did you get him? We saw the wolf come from the cabin. We shot. He must have fallen in those bushes where the men are. Sheriff, come quick. It's a man. Good heavens. It's Fulton Dwayne. Incredible. Thus, the terrible episode ended for Ben and Jenny Burns. But for them, a full moon was ever after a symbol of dread, telling that to this day there is strange truth in the legend of the werewolf. The end. Oof. Yeah, that was pretty stupid. But, what are you going to do? Okay. Time for my sippy poo. That's good stuff. Huh. Maybe we're coming to my neck of the woods. Monster of the bayous. Can any organism once dead return to the realm of the living? It was the contention of Professor Wilhelm Eckering that it could, providing the proper stimulation was administered. That was the main reason for his desire to set up his laboratory amid the uninterrupted loneliness of the Louisiana bayous. With his capable assistant, Eileen Thorne, he wished to work undisturbed and in secret. Morning, I'm Ken Langdon, the sheriff of Beaumont. Beaumont's in Texas, but heard you folks were moving in. Thought I might come over and lend a hand.
Well, that's very thoughtful of you. We're setting up a laboratory for some chemical research.
We have little time to waste, Mr. Langdon, and we're managing very nicely. Thank you.
No trouble. Here, let me carry it. You've picked an ideal place to work, provided you're not afraid of the ghost of old Captain Farrock.
Ghost? What nonsense is this?
Old Cap Farrock was buried somewhere in the bayou here. People are scared to come out here at night. Some of them even claim they've seen the old boy's ghost. Well, gotta amble along. Don't fail to call me if you ever need help. Especially you, ma'am. Yeah. Finally settled, Professor Eckering began his experiments in quest of the new wonder serum. Then, after several weeks,
the reaction is positive. I know it'll work now, but I can't explain how or what other effects it may have.
The only thing to do is to test it, Professor.
Oh, yeah. What do you mean you don't know how it would... Just whatever liquid I got here, I guess we'll try to make it work. Let's see now. It's at the proper chilled temperature. How do you know? The measurement must be exact. What measurement? How would you know?
I'm breathless with anticipation. It must work.
You must keep alert. Those notes must be accurate. Now, into the main artery.
Yes, injected at 10:47 p.m. Will the results show immediately, sir?
I can't say for sure. If I fully understand the processes involved, our notes would be more complete. I guess we've time to sterilize the needle before there are any noticeable results. As they went through the routine of preparing the hypodermic for sterilization, a sudden clouding of the light, a rush of air, and a heavy pounding drew their attention.
Great Scott! What a monster! Where'd it come from?
Oh, it's hideous!
Eileen, watch out for those claws! It's attacking! Get down on the floor!
It's the most ferocious bird I've ever seen. Look, it's flying right into the light.
In an instant, amid the crashing sound of shattering equipment, there was a blinding flash of light. As a shower of flaming sparks from the light socket outlined the ghastly creature, then all was silent and black.
It must have been electrocuted when it caused that short circuit. Hurry! Run and get some candles, Eileen. I guess our experiment is ruined.
How did that horrible thing ever get in here?
Probably through the window. Our specimen has vanished, too. This monster gobbled it down, no doubt.
Through the window? But that's impossible. The window's closed, and so is the door. That specimen. Why, it must be that
Slow realization quietly spread over the two scientific minds.
Yes, that's it. That tiny dead bird. And this immense thing. That's the answer to the questionable effects of my serum. We must preserve it.
But how? The serum must be kept chilled, and with that short circuit, our refrigerator's off.
Wait, Sheriff Langdon. He said we could rely on him for a favor. Hurry, you must get him to help. This serum must be kept refrigerated at all costs. It'll be a boon to scientific research.
Under the pressure of urgency, Eileen sped through the menacing bayous toward Beaumont. In her haste, she failed to notice a protruding root from one of the gigantic cypress trees along the path, and suddenly,
"Oh, the serum! I dropped."
Stunned for a moment, Eileen was suddenly aware of a rumbling quake beneath the very spot from which she attempted to raise herself. The earth began to crack open all around her.
"Oh, my head! What's that shaking? I've got to."
Whoops. Terrified by the cadaverous monstrosity, Eileen came to the quick realization that fate had brought her to the hidden grave of the legendary pirate Captain Farrock. Again, the strange concoction had proved its potency.
"Stay away from me! Get back! Ah! I've got to get back. He's coming after me. I hope Professor Eckering has a gun. Oh, if only Ken were here. I can outdistance that thing. Thank goodness. He's too clumsy for speed."
Racing back to the laboratory, Eileen rapidly relayed her tale to Professor Eckering.
What? Oh, calm down, Eileen. Your imagination's been playing tricks on you. That's what comes from listening to fantastic yarns.
"But I saw it, I tell you, and it's headed this way. We've got to get out of here. Get to Beaumont before. Oh, it's coming. There it is now."
What? Where? Oh, I knocked over the candle. Can't see a thing.
"Oh, why don't you believe me? It's not a ghost I saw. It was a man, a monster of a man, at least 14 feet tall. Hurry, we've got to."
No, I'm staying here. I must say I'm surprised at you.
The fool. And after he'd already seen the results of the experiment. I've got to get help. I just hope that monster doesn't get to him. But will Ken doubt me also?
It was natural that Ken Langdon would act skeptical. Also, after the many stories concerning the ghost.
Well, that's a new twist. From a ghost to a monster 14 feet tall. Come on, Miss Thorne. I'll take you back. Any man be a fool to resist walking with you in the moonlight.
Oh, I give up. Anyway, please take a gun.
Do, 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 do.
Can we move a little faster? If that thing gets to Professor Ickering before we do, it'll kill him.
It's not safe running through the bayous in the dark. Listen, someone's coming.
As Langdon raised his flashlight, a welcome sight greeted Eileen's eyes.
"Oh, it's you. Then you're safe."
Yes, forgive me for doubting you, Eileen. I saw that monster too, but we mustn't harm it. It's alive, just as Eileen described, but it's not a ghost. Whatever it is, it's proof that I'm on the right track in my research. We must try to capture it in some way. I'm beginning to believe it, but if it's dangerous, we can't just let it roam around. Don't be a fool, Sheriff. A few lives mean little compared to such an important scientific discovery. We must... What's that?
Oh, look, there it is.
As the clumsy monstrosity trudged forward, Ken's first move was toward self-preservation.
Keep back. If you understand me, keep back or I fire. No, in the name of science, you mustn't. Let go of me, you old fool. I've got a responsibility to the folks in Beaumont. It's either this thing or us. No, you can't. Oh,
look out. It's almost upon us, Ken. Shoot.
I've hit it again and again, but it doesn't stop coming. We've got to run for it. Hurry, Get the professor to his feet.
That thing will kill us all if we don't get away from here.
Pulling the stunned professor to his feet, they dashed through the heavy underbrush in the nick of time.
It's still following us. Where are you leading us?
We can't head back to town. It'll destroy everything it gets its hands on.
What happened? Did you kill it?
Nope. It seems impervious to bullets. I'm trying to lead it deeper into the bayou. Maybe we can lose it there.
What'll happen if we can't shake it off our tail?
In that case, we'll be stuck out here ourselves. I didn't want to worry you with that thought, but wait, I think I have it. A sure way to save ourselves. There's a new damming project not far from here. They've been using dynamite for their excavations. A powerful enough explosive should do the trick. I won't let you do it. I won't. Don't be a fool. That monster's sure to kill you if you try stopping him.
Very well, Sheriff. I'll stick with you.
With the sound of heavy treads crushing the thicket underfoot behind them, the trio raced onward until...
Thank goodness, I'm about worn out. Oh, the shack's locked. Is that where the dynamite is?
Yeah, don't worry. I could shoot the lock off and it blows up all the dynamite, but I guess not. There, it's off. Listen, it's coming closer. We'll have to work fast.
Oh, the professor, he's gone. Look, over there.
That stupid idiot's going to warn the monster.
I told you I wouldn't let you kill him, you young fool. I'll try reasoning with him. He'll have to understand.
Come back. He'll crush you. Oh, it's no use. He's a fanatic.
Swiftly, Professor Eckering raced back into the murk and slime of the bayous.
Now, listen to me. You must understand. They want to kill you. I'm trying to save you. You're of inestimable value to science. Can you understand me? I created you, brought you back from the realm of the dead.
For an instant, the monster hesitated. This was the first being to face him unafraid. Then, without warning, he reached his massive hands down and...
Stop! I'm trying to save you! No! Why did you try to stop him? He'll be killed. Oh, listen. No!
Because I got tired of his bullshit. Anyway, he's done for by now. I tried to reason with him, but it's lit. That monster will crash through in a moment.
As the sparkling fuse grew shorter, the couple waited in breathless anticipation. Suddenly, amid the great crashing foliage, the monster materialized.
There it is now.
Everything depends on this throw. Hurry. Duck back in the shack.
Oh, behind the shack, whatever. For a moment, a flaring set of sparks from the fuse sent a blazing trail through the air. A split second later, there was a rending, blinding flash of light amid a thunderous eruption of violet energy. Boom.
It's all my fault. The professor would still be alive if I hadn't been so clumsy and tripped, spilling that serum. Yeah, but then he would have used it on something else. Some giant monstrosity that eats you all. Quit being an idiot.
You mustn't blame yourself. He was a fanatic. Trying to reason with that monster was like committing suicide. Come on, Eileen. I'll take you back to Beaumont in a motel, you know? Yeah. Because, well, you know you owe me now.
The end. Well, there we go. Oh, boy. Well, that was exciting, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that kind of stuff happens in Louisiana all the time. So anyway, now a word from our sponsor. So you want to lose weight? Where it shows most? Reduce most any part of the body with Spot Reducer. Relaxing, penetrating, soothing massage. Oh, it's a vibrator.
Yeah, she's slowly sliding it down. Okay, well, I guess we've seen enough. So there you go, the Hand of Fate. And we'll have to check that out again for issue number 2. But I don't know. I'll have to think of something for next week. All right, let's see. Last week was a superhero story. This is horror. I guess we'll do crime next time. One of those. I'll find something. There's always something. Always something. And then I'll read that. All right, that's it for the chat. So I guess I'll take off. Hope you enjoyed this little interlude of comic book reading here on Mr. Sunday Comics. Yeah, yeah, it's fun. I guess. I don't know. You tell me. No? Well, all right then. I'll take off. And we'll do it again on next Sunday. Now, time provided, I might just go ahead and tape one. Yeah. Because, man, does my voice get ragged after being up all night. I think that has something to do with it. I really do. So, kind of sucks. Because I would have thought, hey, this will be good stuff for a live stream. But this is the only chance I have to do it. Plus, I really am exhausted. So it's probably better to go ahead and try to just go back to the taped versions of it. However, should again I not have the time to do it, then it'll be live. See, it works out just like that. Won't that be nice? I think so. I think so.